You're listening to the Marriage Clinic Podcast, a podcast on love, marriage, and personal development. Our purpose is to inspire and equip you with knowledge and skills to enable you to have lasting and fulfilling relationships. Now, your host, Joshua Mogre.
Hello. Welcome to the Marriage Clinic Podcast. This is a podcast about love, marriage, and your personal development. And I'm excited to let you know that today is our 29th episode. Wow. When we began on the 10th of March, we launched our Marriage Clinic Podcast. We never knew that we'll soon be 30 episodes down. Every single week, we've come to you with a Marriage Clinic Podcast, and it has been exciting. And today, I want to shake a table. I want to shake a major table today. And let me start by giving an explanation before I tell you the title of today's podcast. So let me give you a moment. Please like, please share, please send it to a friend. Please leave a comment, and you can put some fire in the chat right now, because today I'm really bringing the fire on these issues. So come on, let's go. First of all, what I'm going to talk about today, the first thing we must understand is that it is for people who genuinely want to settle down. This is for people who genuinely want to settle down, people who genuinely want to have a loving, monogamous relationship. Monogamous means one partner, God willing, have children, and be married for the rest of their lives. It's not for everybody. Now, I'm going to deal with one gender today, and next week I will deal with the other gender. So please, instead of arguing in your mind about the points I'm going to raise, just take your medicine. And you don't have to take your medicine. I normally don't start with all these caveats, because I know once I mention the topics, some people are going to get upset. Some people may even turn off their phones and say, you know what, I don't think I want to do this podcast today. But I am assuring you that if you listen with an open heart and an open mind, there will be some nuggets that you will take that will be beneficial to you. All right? So, and then also, when you do disagree with me, because I think for some of you, some of the things you disagree with me, when you do disagree with me, ask yourself this question. I have been doing it my way. What is the result? I have been doing it my way, and what has been the result so far? So let your Uncle Joshua today give you some good advice. Just take a seat, relax, get a drink, and let me tell you some things. So, what am I talking about today? My subject is very simple. Why some women will never find a husband. I can see the fire. Why some women will never find a husband. And I can hear some of you going, are you trying to say without a man, I'm not complete? No, I never said that. Go look at my the podcast I did on One is a Whole Number. You can be single and live a fulfilled life. But if you truly desire to have a husband, and you are not finding a husband or getting into a relationship that is leading to marriage, maybe you are making some of these mistakes. And I just want to talk to you about some of the mistakes. So please, let's jump right into it. And next week, the men, I will be coming for you. Why some men can never get married. Or why some men, I'm looking for a nice title. Maybe put an example of a title in the chat, and it may be the title for next week's podcast. Maybe Bachelor for Life is your fault. Or something like that, okay? Now, the first reason why some women may never get married is that they are afraid of getting their hearts broken. They are afraid of getting their hearts broken. They say you cannot make chibom. Chibom is a Ghanaian term for omelette or a fried egg. You cannot make omelets without breaking eggs. I'm afraid my heart will be broken. I'm afraid he will leave me. Yes, it's possible he will leave you. It's possible he will break your heart. But if you go and look at the do's and don'ts of a relationship, even if he ends the relationship, you wouldn't have lost too much. All right? But sometimes some women never really get married because they are afraid their hearts will be broken. And they are so scared for so long that by the time they realize time is running out, there aren't too many good guys out there for them to get married to. So number one is they are afraid of getting their hearts broken. Number two is they never invest in learning about men from men. They never invest about learning from men from men. Let me give you an example. A lot of women think they know about men and what men are like and what men like and what men don't like and what to do to a man in the bedroom and how to treat your man. But the problem is that they learned about it from women who are not men. So if you've allowed your girls, your girlfriends, your mothers to tell you what men like, when you haven't studied men to find out from other men what men need, chances are you will give superficial things or you will not give the things that really matter. Some people say if you want to keep a man, cook for him, sleep with him, wash his clothes. My sister, you've gone into laundry business, catering business, and you've gone into, what do they call it? Glorified prostitution. How far? Every guy you dated, you've cooked for him, you've washed his clothes, you've slept with him, and he still leaves you. So maybe that advice that you got may be wrong. Don't worry, I came with my fire today. So put some fire in the chat. They never invest in learning about men. Learn about men. Go to men, find out from men why men do things they do. Why is it that he wants to chill with one but wants to marry another? What makes a man switch off? Look for material about men. Read about it. If you are planning on spending the rest of your life with a man, for heaven's sake, learn about men. I believe men have more information about women than women have about men. Yes, he didn't say, give him good sex. It's a lie. If good sex was keeping men, then for heaven's sake, then the prostitutes should have been the happiest people in the world. All right? Number two, and what my last example just brings us nicely into number two. They assume that sex keeps a man. They assume that sex keeps a man. Look, let Uncle Joshua tell you something today. A guy's respect for his girlfriend goes down the day he sleeps with her. There's something about sex with somebody you held in high esteem that just makes you have less reverence for the person. So if your assumption is that because I'm having sex with him, I'm going to keep him, or if I don't have sex with him, I'm going to lose him, it's a lie. So assuming that sex keeps a man is one of the things that keeps women from getting married. And you see, men may not say it out loud, but the more men you have slept with, the less value they put on you. Some people call it a body count. So if you say sex will keep a man, so you started dating a guy when you were in high school, you were sleeping with him, it didn't work out. And then there was another one when you had finished high school, you were sleeping with him and it didn't work out. Then you went to uni. For the 4 years on campus, the 3 different relationships, you know the guys' hostels more than some guys know their own hostels. You've come out during national service, that guy who was already working and said you were the best thing since sliced bread. And then he was sleeping with you as well and it didn't work out. And now you are in church, eyeing the brother on the technical table. To assume that sex keeps a man is a mistake. Sex does not keep a man. All right? The fourth reason, and I'm not mentioning them in order of priority. I'm just putting them out there. Number 4, one of the fourth reasons why some women struggle to find a man is that they isolate themselves in a routine. They isolate themselves in a routine. Now, look at it this way. Let's assume you are a nurse. I don't know why I'm using the nurse as an example. You go on duty, you go to work, you come home, you go to church, You go to work, you come home, you go to church. Then you spend time at home watching TV. You are isolating yourself in a routine. Now, meeting somebody and letting the person get to know you and getting into a relationship is a numbers game. If you put yourself in the right places, you will find, let me use the word, correct people, or you find marriage material 7.5 yards. But if you don't put yourself in the right places and you stick within a routine, you isolate yourself, you find out that you are interacting with the same people over and over again. And sometimes you are working a job where most of the people you are interacting with are taken. You are working in an office, and in the office, all the guys are either in a relationship or they are married. And those are the only guys you see, because you go into the office, you work in the bank. You go into the bank at 7:30 thereabout, and you leave the bank at 8 p.m. Isolation and routine. All right. Then brings me to number 5. One of the 5th reason why some ladies miss out on getting married is that they are looking for a perfect man. So they start dating this guy. He has this issue. No, it's not. We are not working through this issue. I'm dropping you. Or in their mind, they have a certain criteria they are looking for. He should be this. He should be that. He should be caring. He should be loving. He should have enough money. He should not be bald. He should have hair on his chest. He should be 6 foot tall, but he should be cute enough. My sister. As someone said, we can just give you the clay and you make your own human being. When you are looking for a perfect person, believe you me, most of the people who get married to imperfect people. There will always be something about the person you don't like, but it should be something you can tolerate and live with. But once you're looking for a perfect person, you jettison so many good people because there's no perfect person out there. Hey, this is the Marriage Clinic Podcast, a podcast about love, marriage, and personal development. And my name is Joshua Mogre. If this is the first time you are listening to us, that is great. This is episode 29. So if this is the first time you are listening to us, remember that there are 28 other episodes that you need to listen to and enjoy. We have the audio version, we have the video version, and we are out there, okay? Brings me to the next one. A lot of women are looking for the 1% pool of men. The 1% pool of men. The average guy will get into his 40s before he comes into a very stable, financial, independent, seriously independent place. Most men's careers kick off when they enter into their 40s, between 40 and 45. Okay? If you are in your 20s and you're looking for someone whose career has kicked off, the person can afford to give you a weekend in a beautiful hotel and buy a phone for you and do A, B, C, D for you, you are looking at a 1% pool. Now, here's the question I ask myself. I know you want a man who has a car and has a spare car and has enough money to give you all the things you want. But will a man who can do all that be looking for a woman like you? Oosh. If it's Penny Roberts, as we say here. I know the kind of guy you think you want. But the question is, do you have what it takes to get that kind of guy? And a lot of the time, the answer is no. Sometimes your educational level cannot get the guy. Sometimes your exposure cannot get the guy. Sometimes your understanding of life cannot get the guy. So stop looking at this very small pool of men out there and discounting all the other, in quotes, boring guys out there. All right? You're looking for the perfect man. You're looking to shop in the 1% pool. Believe you me, ladies, if you really do want to get married and get married early, this is me giving uncle advice. I would advise you to go for the boring classmate. Listen to me. I'll advise you to go for the boring classmate that you click with, instead of the guy that fits the description of what you've been seeing in a lot of books and movies. Because the boring classmate that you click with is willing to settle down, and most likely by the time he's late 30s into his early 40s, he's hitting a level that will be a great person for you. All right? Number 7, I wish I wanted to do this in one take, but I really don't want to do 2 takes on this. So let me go as quickly as possible. Number 7, women who haven't healed from past trauma find it hard to find a man who will settle down with them. You see, because so many women have been, let me not say so many. Some women have been through a lot of problems, a lot of trauma. Some of them have been raped. Some of them have been abused. Some of them went through very painful breakups they didn't heal from. If you don't invest in healing from those problems, you may get into another relationship, but you will wreck the relationship. Either by being too needy, being too aggressive, being too independent, not knowing how to deal with issues. You must invest in healing first. Invest in healing first before you think of looking for someone to live your life with. So some women will never get married because they haven't healed from their problems. And trust me, when a guy meets a lady who has a lot of deep emotional problems, after one interaction, he knows. So the lady may be fine and she may look like what she wants, but sometimes when he looks at all the drama around her life, it's like, really, do I want this stress? Because the truth is, men cannot deal with a lot of emotional stress. Our bandwidth for emotional stress is very short. Okay? Number 8, the 8th thing that can prevent you from finding a husband is the group of friends you move with. You see, when a guy meets you and he meets your friends, he uses your friends to estimate who you are. So if you have loud, wild friends or friends who are saying interesting things, hey, we need a rich man, or we need this, we need that. The guy just believes you may not be saying the same thing, but he just feels like you think the same way anyway. But that is not true. Those are my friends. Do you want the truth, or you want what has been keeping you single, my sister? A man should be able to deal with me and my clique. How is that helping you? He asks you out on a date and you go with your friends? Hello? And you see that thing you guys do where you get your friends to go and ask him, are you sure you can take care of this, our friend A? She's not a cheap girl, and so on and so forth. Your friends are ruining your chances. So be careful about the people who surround you. Hey, we're running out of time. Number 9. The 9th issue that keeps women from getting married and finding a good husband is when they place premium on their looks and not their personality. Looks and not character. When they know how to do all the best of makeup, and they know how to contour, and they know how to make their nails, but they don't know how to swallow their pride and say sorry. When they don't know how to hold a conversation, when they don't have emotional intelligence and relational intelligence, but have a lot of good looks, guys will want to chill with you and sleep with you. And ladies, understand something. The fact that a guy wants to sleep with you doesn't mean he wants to marry you. And a guy can want to date you and not want to marry you. I'm talking about those who are looking for marriage. So it's not all about the looks. Have you ever seen, excuse me to use the word, have you ever seen an ugly lady with a ring on her finger? It's not the most beautiful lady who gets married. If it was so, all the Hollywood and Nollywood and Gollywood actresses would be married by now. And look at, I nearly mentioned names. Look at how pretty some of them are. And they still are single. So definitely, it's not all about the looks. So if you keep thinking, provided I look beautiful, am I saying don't take care of yourself? Take good care of yourself. But take better care of your character. It's like this today is hot. And when I come for the men next week, oh my goodness, the men may be laughing now, but next week, it's going to be brutal. All right? Putting premium on your looks. Number 10, women who forget that they are girls for chilling and they are girls for marrying. There are girls for chilling and there are girls for marrying. I remember years back, I was young and not as wise as I am right now. And we used to go out in groups. And there was this particular girl we always liked to be in our group because she was always the life of the party. And she could stand on tables and dance. And when there are issues, she could take people on and she could drink some of the guys under the table. And anytime we were going out, my brief stint, she would be part of the clique. I mean, it's not a party if she's not around. She's still single today. And you talk to the guys and they are like, oh, and sometimes when we are going back, some of the guys who jokingly say, oh, won't you come and be at my place? You say, oh, you like that. Before she realized she's going with the guy to his place. And it was fun. But when it came to the time where guys were looking for women to settle down with, she wasn't on the list because she was a chilling woman and not a wife material woman. So if you assume that because we're chilling, and because we're hanging out, and because every time they call you and say, hey, are you free? You are available to be free means that they will want to wife you. Unless being a wife is not a priority. Being a mother in a loving home and a stable home is not a priority. But remember, guys have ladies they chill with and ladies they get married to. Okay? Let me give you the number 11. Number 11 is women who bring nothing to the table. In my parents' generation, there was a strong sense of, I married a woman, I take care of the woman, and everything she needs, I provide. In this generation we have today, the man is looking at, what is this woman also bringing into my life? And it can't just be sex and a big butt. What are you bringing into my life? What value do you have? What's your net worth? Are you going to be a liability or you are going to be an asset? Am I going to have to carry you for the rest of my life? Or you are going to bring something into? So the question I want you to, ladies, and do this exercise. Sit down and write on a sheet of paper what qualities you bring that will make a man want you. Just write them down. And don't say Brazilian wig, Peruvian hair, eyelashes. No, those don't count. Don't say saucepans and pans. Those don't count. Can you speak life into a man that is dying? Do you have the ability to earn? Do you have ability to manage a home? Can you bring peace into this household? What are you bringing to the table? And a lot of women have nothing to bring to the table, so the men don't want to marry them. Number 12, and I'm going to be done with, maybe I'll give you 13. Number 12, rude women, aka those who speak their mind anytime. Guys don't want to settle down with ladies who are loud because they ask themselves, you see, one of the fears of men is that they don't want a quarrelsome wife. The Bible says that it's better to live in the corner of a house than to live in a house with a quarrelsome woman. And the same Bible says that like the dripping during rain, so is a woman who nags. So one of the things that men fear is a nagging woman, or a woman who talks anyhow, a woman who cannot hold her own. So once you are rude, you always speak your mind. You are the one shouting. You are the one who says, I won't allow you to cheat me. Let me speak my mind. Go ahead, by all means, affirmative action, speak your mind. You have the right to speak. You can match everybody boot for boot. That's not a problem, but no one is going to marry you. You understand me? Today, Uncle Joshua is telling you the truth. I'm telling you the truth. You may not like it. That's why I said sit down and take your medicine. And number 13, the financially demanding woman. The woman who sees the relationship as a bank account or an ATM. My hair, my rent, my house, my nails, my data, my car, my everything. When you put too many financial demands on a man, he runs away because he doesn't want to settle down with somebody who is going to continue sucking the life out of him. This has been the Marriage Clinic podcast. It's been a pleasure bringing it to you. Do you agree? Do you disagree? If you do disagree, put in the chat why. If you don't understand anything, put in the chat. I will come back and I'll explain over and over again. It's been good having you on the Marriage Clinic podcast. God bless you and see you next week.